In a horrific incident of mob violence, a Sri Lankan national was lynched in the Pakistani city of Sialkot over allegations of blasphemy. Videos circulating on social media show hundreds of people attacking the victim, who has been identified as Priyantha Kumara. He is said to be in his 40s. The mob was seen dragging him. His body was later burned. The Sri Lankan national was working as an export manager at a local factory. According to reports, the mob included factory workers as well. They claimed that Kumara was seen tearing posters bearing the name of Prophet Muhammad. The attackers were heard chanting slogans of the hardline Islamist party, the Tehreek-e-Labbaik Pakistan, or TLP. Meanwhile, the Pakistani police said that they have made more than 100 arrests and that officials are working to identify more perpetrators with the help of CCTV footage. They added that an FIR will be registered under the Anti-Terrorism Act. Reacting to the incident, the Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan said that it was a day of shame for the country. He added that he is overseeing the investigations and that all those responsible will be punished with the full severity of the law. The Sri Lankan government too has reacted. In a statement, the country's foreign ministry said that it expects that Pakistani authorities will take the required action to investigate and ensure justice. This is not the first time that Pakistan has violated human rights under the guise of its blasphemy law. There have been a number of incidents which prove that there is little to no tolerance for religious minorities in Pakistan. In 2009, Asia Bibi, a Pakistani Christian, was accused of blasphemy. A long-standing dispute with neighbors snowballed into Asia Bibi being accused of insulting the Prophet Muhammad. She became the first woman to be sentenced to death under the blasphemy law. The case triggered an international outcry. Religious hardliners in Pakistan took to the streets in 2018 after the death sentence was quashed. Ultimately, Asia Bibi had to leave her home and flee to Canada. Salman Taseer, Punjab's governor and an outspoken critic of Pakistan's harsh blasphemy laws, was killed in 2011. This was one of the most high-profile assassinations. Taseer was killed by his own bodyguard, who was hailed as a hero by Islamist groups. The group said that killing the minister was the bodyguard's religious duty. When the bodyguard was hanged in 2011, people took to the streets to protest against the move. Well, for more on this, we have senior journalist Mateen Haider joining us from Islamabad. Thank you very much for joining us. The issue of the controversial Pakistani blasphemy laws has been brought to the fore following this attack. As a journalist, have you had a chance to read the law? And in your understanding, who is affected by the laws?
Well, thank you so much. As there is any possibility of making an amendment into the blasphemy law, there have been calls in the past within Pakistan by progressive parliamentarians, because this particular law was adopted in the parliament long time back, and there have been, as I said, there have been definitely calls within Pakistan, but due to the strong religious pressure, then many times when amendments were tabled in the parliament, these amendments were withdrawn. So I don't think so in the near future any government may have any courage to bring any amendment in that law, because it is highly tricky and it may face strong reactions from the from such areas that we can definitely right. And in the past, exactly, there have been many people attacked, and as in the report you mentioned from the governor of Punjab, Taseer, was gunned down by his own gunmen. So I don't think so any people in Pakistan, any prime minister, Pakistan, any parliament can.
Well, we have journalist Mateen Haider, who is joining us from Islamabad, and he's actually giving us his perspective about this blasphemy law, which has been controversial in the country and world over. And I began by asking him if this law, on who is affected by this law. So probably, again, Mr. Haider, you can tell us and tell our viewers, the issue of this controversial Pakistani blasphemy law has been brought to the fore following this attack. As a journalist, have you had a chance to read the law? And in your understanding, who is affected by the laws?
Yes, as I said, that there have been calls within Pakistan in the past by progressive parliamentarians to bring amendments into this law or to completely repeal this law. So there have been very strong reaction by the religious parties. I don't think so that Pakistani government or any parliament in Pakistan, now keeping in view these prevailing circumstances, can ever dare to touch this blasphemy law, which is very, very sensitive. And it has taken already many lives across Pakistan, including politicians, serving governors, and etc. So, but however, there have been calls and there have been assurances by the various successive governments that misuse of this law will not be allowed, right? And this has been made it very clear that if it is found through investigation that the law was misused, so those who misuse the law could be equally punished. Yes, over to you.
Mr. Haider, do most Pakistanis even support the laws?
Well, as far as Pakistani nation is concerned, of course, the law was basically made many decades ago to ensure that there is no attack on our holy personalities. As far as this point is concerned, there is complete consensus. But as far as majority of Pakistanis are concerned, they believe that there has to be certain amendments within this law so that its misuse could be prevented. Again, repeating, so that its misuse could be prevented. So actual issue is the misuse of this law that is done by the religious extremists. And I think so that now the government, as after yesterday's incident, Pakistan civil and military leadership has made it very clear that there will be no leniency in tackling this issue, and all those responsible will be taken to the task, will be facing the justice. Right? Pakistan's Prime Minister, President Arif Alvi, and Army Chief also issued a statement, and they said it's beyond tolerance. So once Pakistani civil military leadership has made it clear, definitely the progressive Pakistanis think accordingly.
Mr. Haider, suppression of minority communities or groups is not new in Pakistan. Apart from leaders condemning such attacks on the group, what steps does the government need to employ to address this vice in the country?
Well, as far as issues of minorities are concerned, this is a very rare issue that took place in Sialkot yesterday. So other than this, there are no issues of suppressing minorities the way we witness in our neighboring country, India, where the issues of minorities are highlighted every day. So there are Hindus in Sindh. We have our Sikh brothers living in Punjab and in KPK province and in other parts of the Sindh as well. There are Sikhs, there are Christians, there are other minorities. So there have been no such incident. There are certain rare incidents that could be a result of any personal issue, something like that. But as far as even if there is any issue that does take place, the law takes its own course. The law does take action. The authorities does take action. And I will refer to the temple in Karak in KPK, where the Chief Justice of Pakistan went himself, where authorities went themselves. And immediately after whatever was the incident of desecration of the temple in Karak and KPK, action was taken. But if the other countries of South Asia, if you look into India, such incidents are again on rise. So I think so that in Pakistan, situation is comparatively very under control. Minorities enjoy very reasonable representation in provincial assemblies, in Senate of Pakistan, in National Assembly of Pakistan, and they're also in the mainstream politics. They are in the business. The main chairman of Pakistan Hindu Council, Dr. Ramesh Kumar, is a mainstream politician in Pakistan, who is member of the National Assembly. The mainstream politics. There are Hindus I live in Islamabad, Pakistani capital. There are Hindus, there are Sikhs. There are Sikhs in Pakistan Army. There are Christians in Pakistani Army. There are Sikhs, Hindus, and Christians in Pakistani bureaucracy. So Pakistan's constitution does provide.
All right. Martin, hi there. Thank you very much for your insights and for talking to WION. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.